Chapter 5. It takes a long while for every villager to have a say. Then Ba and her chair are lifted and carried inside where it's a little cooler. I'm right there with her. The ground floor is one open space storing 3 shiny mopeds. A garage. On 2 diagonal beams hangs a hammock where a boy with a deep tan lies and pets the slimy smooth back of a gigantic frog. Or is that a toad? Whatever it is, it sits on his chest and burps a ribbit. Great, I'm in PBS nature. Oot, put it in the basket now. That must be his mother hissing because the boy stands up as if every muscle is annoyed, something I do too. No way, it's a girl. She stands there rubbing a military-style buzz cut like she's proud to be 1 inch from baldness. Strange, she's kind of pretty, with a perfectly proportioned oval face Ba would call mat trai saun, and long, thick eyelashes. The girl rolls her eyes, but the mother doesn't see it. That's also my specialty. She's wearing a crumbly khakis rolled up to her knees and a huge dark blue t-shirt. The girl strokes the frog/toad's head before putting it in the basket. She bows at Ba and stares straight at me. There's no expression. I sneer at her. Can't help it. It's my automatic face. She doesn't even sneer back, but looks bored, staring me down even though she's a head shorter. Who is this girl? We're pushed onto the second level where food fills a long table. It's definitely hotter up here with air barely moving through the doors, facing front and back. What exactly is wrong with having windows? 3 or 4 dishes are grouped together under lots of half-moon nets to keep out flies, which are zooming into and bouncing back from the nets. I recognize cellophane noodles sautéed with bits of chicken and tons of vegetables, dried bamboo shoot soup with chopped drumsticks, rosy sticky rice with sliced sausages where you can see clear bits of pig fat, stuffed bitter melons, boiled chicken feet, a whole roasted piglet that looks so real it could run away, a gigantic bowl of sautéed leafy greens, carrots and daikons carved into flowers. There's much more I can't name. Everything smells so good. Long benches run alongside the table. Ba is seated at the head of the table in her cushioned chair. I'm the first one on the bench to her right. Everyone is elbow to elbow, sticky skin to sticky skin. Ew. If I scream ew and do all sorts of mannerless and embarrassing things, Ba might send me home right now. But I'm trained to be obedient. I can't help it. One disappointed look from Ba and I would crumble. She's only done it once or twice and it burned. I will have to force myself to be patient and let the detective do his thing. I've only peeked at him, but I can tell he takes his work way seriously. The ones who can't fit on the benches hang in the background, offering more helpful comments. Everyone returns to the water source. The daughter of my cousin is in Texas. She speaks Vietnamese with a crisp northern accent. My relatives in Cali have a child going to the best college they have, Harvard. The son of my nephew will be a doctor. Oh, the comparison game. Mom is an expert. Cousin Justin plays Chopin like a concert pianist. Can you? Cousin Brianna won the best science prize in the nation. Can you get a 4.5 like Cousin Dylan? I'm so over it. I'm going to be the best at something, like pushing back my cuticles. Yay me. A huge draft goes around the room just before they lift the food nets. All kinds of fans have been switched on to shoo away flies, which try but cannot come in close, buzzing in the background as loudly as my new maybe relatives. Back there with the flies is Hammock Girl. She's actually catching flies in a plastic bag. She squeezes the bag in the middle, dividing it into 2 parts. The top part is a balloon filled with crazed flies. The bottom part is an upside-down bowl, which she inches toward, one at rest. As I watch, she traps it every time. I told you I'm a nature episode. Someone hands me a bowl of rice, then chopsticks start coming at me and leaving food in my bowl. I don't have time to refuse or accept. My bowl is quickly piled high. Why aren't they turning their chopsticks and using the thicker ends when offering bites to others? That's what we always do at home. Mom forbids spit sharing. A woman sucks on the thin tip of her chopsticks, then grips a chicken foot and jams it on top of my pile. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Ba quietly lifts the foot away, to where I do not know. She turned her chopsticks. Thank you. See why I always want to please her? She always takes away bits of chicken liver and other unrecognizable parts she knows I'd never eat. She even removes the skin from a chopped drumstick. From now on, she's officially my favorite person on earth. I pick up my chopsticks and deliver a bamboo shoot to my mouth. Everyone stops eating. Someone says, look at her using chopsticks, just like a Vietnamese girl. What does she think I do at home, eat rice with my fist? Someone else asks, are you obedient? It's so annoying when people ask questions with preconceived answers. The man should just come out and say it. I expect you to listen to your parents or you'll shame every ancestor going back 4,000 years of Vietnamese history. No pressure, like any kid is going to admit out loud. I just pretend to listen. Food keeps piling up in my bowl no matter how much I eat and eat. I love the smell of sauteed ginger, like a zing in my nostrils. The buzzcut girl's mother must know I'm beyond full because she finally waves me over. I stand up and my spot fills in within seconds. The mother actually takes my hand and puts it in the girl's, saying, go play out back, go on. We both drop hands immediately. We're not 5. Actually, I haven't had to make friends since Montana and I were in Miss Vollmer's kindergarten class. From then on, all her friends were mine too. So were her enemies. With Montana, I'm guaranteed a great seat at lunch and on field trip buses. That's worth me controlling my eye rolls when she goes on and on about lip gloss and highlights, and especially boys. Thinking of him, please, universe, get me home so much sooner than 2 weeks. Tell her your name. Go on, the mother says, awkward. I can tell the girl is holding back a huge eye roll. She manages to mumble, oot, which can only be pronounced by puckering the most mismatched name ever. Buzzcut girl in no way inspires sending or receiving kisses. I tell her my name with attitude. Mia, I mean Mai. Her real name is Huang, but we all call her Oot because she's our youngest. She has an older sister named Lan. They're not alike in one trait. Mothers bear children, but the sky gives them temperaments. Lan would never do anything to displease me, but this younger daughter, how she makes my blood flood my brain. Her hair, her skin, how I suffer. Now you two go play. I have no idea if Oot's mom knows I can understand. She's just talking to talk, smiling and frowning all at once. She leans over and tries to pat Oot's head. Oot backs away. I guess parents embarrass their children everywhere in the world. Oot picks up the pet basket and walks off. Her mom pushes me in the back, so I'll follow. In the backyard, Oot sits with her pet under a pergola-like frame covered with vines of bitter melon. They look oh so innocent, hanging down like tiny lumpy green footballs, but trust me, they are called bitter for a throat-tightening, tongue-swelling reason. Ba says they contain nature's vitamins. In Laguna, she would stuff and stew them with ground pork, and the whole house would smell green and pure. I've tried to convince her that just smelling is medicine enough, no need to actually gag it down my throat. But no, once a month, the bitter bites went down. Oot doesn't even look at me. Fine, I'll just sit as far from her as possible, but still get shade from the pergola. With a hint of a breeze, it's a teensy bit less hot under here. I shall never again take the ocean air for granted. In the shade, Oot's skin looks even more bronze. Mom would so be running at her with a 90 SPF. She packed plenty for me, and I've dutifully slathered it on. Mom has drilled me with enough skin cancer photos to make sure I get it. Oot puts her frog/toad on a banana leaf. It's even fatter, spread out on the ground. She takes the bag of flies from the basket and unknots the opening, releasing a few at a time. Her pet doesn't move except to unfurl a long, slimy tongue towards dozens of flies, zapping every one. No wonder it's huge. I'm mesmerized and throw a pebble in the air. It happened before I knew what I was doing. The frog toad flicks the pebble into its mouth, then it gags. or what sounds like an amphibious way of gagging, a croaky pleading sound. Oot snatches it, hangs it upside down from enormous hind legs, and shakes, shakes, shakes. The thing throws up. It's not pretty, but the pebble does fall out. Sorry, I blurt, trying to remember how to say it in Vietnamese. Sorry, I don't know why I did that. Oot glares at me, picks up her pet, and runs off, snatching the basket. Only then do I think of how to say sorry. Xin loi. Oot turns around and hisses, exposing wires that cover both rows of teeth.